we have quite the show in store for you. Thanks for tuning in. So let's just jump right into it. So like, as I predicted, Golden State took care of the Spurs. They swept them. Last night they beat them 129 to 115. So I mean, what do you think of all this? Yeah, and what's been more surprising to me is the fact that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry have both tore it up this series. I mean, yeah, because not too long ago, there were reports saying that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry couldn't coexist. That Kevin Durant was affecting Steph Curry's numbers, but right now we don't see that. Yeah, and that's just definitely not been the case. I mean, last night we saw Steph Curry explode for 36 on better than 50% shooting from the field. Kevin Durant, 29, shooting over 77% from the field. It was actually just incredible. Yeah, and in my opinion, you definitely want your star players to be on fire. We're going into this finals where we're going to get to see the third round essentially of LeBron's Cavs versus Steph Curry's Warriors. And while we haven't seen Klay Thompson just show up this playoffs, we definitely got to expect that he's going to be on his A game in the finals. And if Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are tearing it up like they are now, it might not be much of a fight. So let's just take a look back at this Cleveland game that we saw 2 nights ago, and what do you think about that? Yeah, I think we all kind of expected Cleveland to come in and roll over Boston, but nobody really expected the Celtics to come out with the fight that they did. But they came out fighting, man. They played bigger with Isaiah Thomas out. They made some shots. They played some good defense, and we had a wonderful game. Yeah, we saw LeBron have an uncharacteristically bad game, and I don't think we're going to see many more of those. But if I'm being honest, it's nice to see that he can have bad games. It's nice to see that he's human. Like, he's not indestructible like we once thought. Yeah, and I think people kind of forget that even Jordan had a bad game, and we're looking at LeBron James, who might arguably be the best player in the history of basketball. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. What was that J. Cole line that he used? You never play me like LeBron versus Jordan. 20 years, wonder who they want to say was more important. Both changed the game, came through and made a lane. Who's to say that? Who's greater? All we know they ain't the same. So I'm gonna lean on Cole and just stay away from that fire right there. Just gonna watch greatness unfold. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. So let's fast forward just a little bit over to June. I know we're getting close to the finals. Let's think about what comes next for these lottery pick teams and Boston. Want to go over our mock draft? You got a mock draft for me? Well, I'll give you my top 5. I don't have the full mock draft ready right now. You didn't let me know ahead of time, but I'll give you my top 5. That's fine. We can just do the top 5. You get started. All right, so number 1, I'm taking Markelle Fultz. This young man has been dynamic. He's an incredible scorer, putting up over 23 points per game. He's averaging more than 5 rebounds, almost 6 assists. He's shooting at a brilliant mark from behind the arc, 41%. Going into Boston, you got to expect that he's going to play a pivotal role. We've seen in this series that Isaiah Thomas has been made ineffective when he plays against these bigger guards and this bigger team. We saw Cleveland just manhandling him, and Markelle Fultz comes in and he's been compared to a Kyrie Irving, and we all know what Kyrie did his first year. So we're gonna see Markelle putting up big numbers, I think. Yeah, and on my number 1 pick, I'm gonna go with Markelle Fultz as well. I just can't deny that this kid has been incredible. He's putting up numbers, and I think he's gonna be a good thing for Boston. I mean, like you said, Isaiah Thomas is a little small, and we never know. He might actually be on his way out the door. There's speculation at this point, but I think Markelle Fultz is going to come in and be a dynamic scorer just like Kyrie Irving was. Yeah, so with number 2, I'm going with Lonzo Ball. He comes in with into a good situation. He's from LA. Magic Johnson, Luke Walton, with Lonzo coming in, we get to see Lonzo take over this offense, and we get to see D'Angelo Russell slide over to his natural 2 position. You know how high I am on Russell. The Lakers already like to play fast, and I think Lonzo's just going to add to that speed. And under Luke Walton, I think we might be seeing a good team this year. I've always been really high on Lonzo Ball. And yeah, you did have that article last summer just telling how Lonzo Ball was going to be great. I got to give you your credit for that one, but I think Lonzo's going to be a good thing for the Lakers. Basically, he's destined to be there. I mean, Magic Johnson walks in, and he goes to UCLA, and everything's just falling into place for Lonzo right now. With my third pick, I'm going with Josh Jackson. It was a little bit of a toss-up here. I could have went either way, but I'm going with Josh Jackson. This guy's an incredible athlete. He's majorly competitive. He's a dynamic two-way player. He's great on defense. The only knock I can find on him is that he's a bit of a streaky shooter at times. Can't really shoot off the dribble in the mid-range, but he's definitely going to get to the rim, and he's going to impact the game. And with Sam Hinkie gone, Brian Colangelo walks in, and we don't know what to expect with Philadelphia. Traditionally, they've selected the best player available, which would easily be Josh Jackson, but we're going to see. But I definitely think they should take Jackson. So the number 3 pick, I'm going to veer off a little bit. I think that the Philadelphia 76ers actually need a point guard, and a lot of people are going to be mad at me for this pick, but I think Dennis Smith Jr. would be the next pick, in my opinion. This kid is dynamic. He's incredible. He put up over 18 points a game. He recorded triple doubles last season. Going into last season, he was actually the number 2 prospect. I mean, he dropped off a little bit, not because he didn't play well, because he played incredible. This kid is explosive. He can shoot the 3. He's a great playmaker. He fell off only because Lonzo Ball and other prospects were so good that they kind of outshined him. But he was definitely a great prospect in his own right. Okay, I can see it. My 4th pick of the 2017 NBA draft, I'm going with Jason Tatum. He's a smooth scorer. I know we saw him take some time off with injury to begin the season last year, but I think when you pair him with Eric Bledsoe, when you pair him with Devin Booker, Marquise Chris, Dragon Bender, Tyler Ulis, we're going to be able to see this young team put up some points. We're going to see some firepower. He already has shown the ability to post up on smaller defenders, and he's able to shoot from that mid-range. He's not even knocked down a few threes this year, so we're definitely going to see some scoring from Jason Tatum. I'm going to go with Josh Jackson for number 4 with the 2017 pick, So, like all the reasons you just mentioned, he's incredible. He's athletic. The Phoenix Suns are going to have a field day with Marquise Chris and Josh Jackson on the floor together. So with Sacramento in this 5th pick, I didn't really know which direction to go, because they do need small forwards and they need guards, and Rudy Gay, Tyreek Evans, they're gone, but Darren Collison and Todd Lawson also are unrestricted free agents. So I didn't know which way to go, so I'm going with De'Aaron Fox, and he's been compared to John Wall. He has an incredible speed. He's good in the open floor. He's a big guard. The only knock I can find is that he can't really knock down a 3 consistently, but he's a great defender, and you got to expect that 3-point shot's going to develop over time. Yeah, like you said, they need a lot of help, even at the wing, and I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum. He can fill it up, and I mean, not to harp on what you just said, but that guy's a smooth scorer. He's gonna be a scorer in this league, and I just think that's a great pick for them. Yeah, and speaking about these top prospects, let's talk about the prospect that's been in the media the most, the one that's getting the most attention, Lonzo Ball and his father. I mean, actually, it's been more of LeVar Ball doing his thing. We hear all too often how we don't hear enough from Lonzo. Yeah, I mean, you hear more about LeVar, but definitely you hear about Lonzo. I mean, the guy released the song. Did you hear it? Yeah, I heard his mixtape. Not the mixtape, his song, sorry. Yeah, and LeVar's obviously waltzed his way into the spotlight, and he's going to use up all the time, the airtime he can get, as long as we're giving it to him. I love what LeVar Ball is doing. He's a black father who supports his children, and he's building a legacy for them. He's a lot of things. He's boisterous, he's annoying, but LeVar Ball loves his children, and that's just something that I enjoy seeing, like a black father taking care of his child, and they're going to build a legacy together. I mean, the Triple B, he's not going to get triple billions, but he's going to do big. He's going to do big things. This legacy is growing. Yeah, I like him too, but I just can't get with those big baller prices, I ain't a big baller yet. I'm still wearing Jordans, man. I can't get the Lonzo Ball ZO2s. I mean, I can't really afford them either, man. But, Shaq fired back at him for it, and I mean, good or bad. Yeah, and I agree with Shaq. I'm going to be honest, I agree with Shaq, but I don't think Shaq should have jumped in those waters with him. Why is that? Because Shaqs are ugly. I feel you, Shaq. You should have made the shoe more affordable to us common folks. I mean, Lonzo hasn't played an NBA game yet, but Shaq's shoes are ugly. He shouldn't have jumped in those waters. No, his son would not want to play with his shoes. Nobody wants to play in his shoes. Those are the shoes you wear to school when you want to get bullied. Those are the shoes you find at the Marshalls and the knockoff stores, you know, the thrift stores, because nobody wants those. And while we talking about people that pave their own lane, let's talk about these Star Crunches, the Starberries, whatever Stephon Marbury made. He paved his own lane, true enough, and I'm happy for him and I support him, and I'm sure he's peddling a lot of those over in China, but those just don't look good. Not a good look. At least with this Triple B shoe, they came out with a decent shoe that I would actually wear. Yeah, I mean, but let's just, I'm not putting on no Shaq to be, and I'm better off putting on the FUBUs. Not the FUBUs, man, not the FUBUs. Really? Yeah, the FUBUs with the straps on them. You remember the FUBUs your mama used to get you when you were horses? Hey, so that's all the time we got tonight. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all. Thank you, Cool Geese Creator, for giving us this opportunity. Nosebleeds out.